Hi everybody, this is Coach JBB with your unapologetically powerful tip, thoracic spine stabilization in the back squat. So I got this tip from Chris Duffin. He's the owner of Elite Performance Center and he's a world record-setting powerlifter. This cue that he has is one of my absolute favorites because it has carryover not just from the back squat. It doesn't apply to just the back squat. It applies to any movement where your torso is required to bear load. So that's any loaded squat variation, deadlift variation, row, or upper body press. So here's the thing. I often see, bringing it back to the back squat, I often see when people set up for the lift that they'll bring their hands in close. And what happens is their rib cage will flare and they will start to hyperextend the low back, which you can pretty much guess that it's not the best position to squat with a heavy TU load on your back. So Chris's cue, this is a good one. It's about creating a cylinder with your T-spine or with your torso. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna imagine the cylinder pressing down and you're gonna press the sternum down. You'll feel your ribs wrap in. Your upper abs are tight, your lower abs will pull up, and this creates really nice internal pressure to stabilize the spine throughout the lift. So this carries over, this actually builds off of our first video in the Unapologetically Powerful Tips series, hand and elbow positioning for the back squat. So if you haven't watched that video yet, maybe take a second, go view it, it's super quick, and then meet me back here at the bar and I'm gonna show you how this cylinder tip relates to hand and elbow positioning for the barbell back squat. So we already know from the first video on the Unapologetically Powerful Tip series for the barbell back squat that we want our hands close on the bar and we want our elbows pinned in close to our ribs and pointed down towards the floor. So to build off of that, there are some people with some limited shoulder mobility. So with good intentions, they'll want to bring their hands in close, which is great because you get that nice upper back tension. But because of that limited shoulder mobility, some sacrifices have to happen. So two things might happen. Number one, the elbows are going to point backwards, which you can imagine isn't a great thing to happen when you're coming up out of the hole because you can really easily tip forward on the way up. Number two, yes, you can have closed hands. Yes, your elbows can stay down, but you are going to make up for that lack of mobility in the shoulder by releasing the thoracic spine and flaring the rib cage and kind of letting your lower abs dump out. So what we want is this sweet spot where your hands are close enough so that you have nice tension in the upper back, your elbows can stay pointed down, and you can incorporate that cylinder in the torso where you're drawing the sternum down, wrapping the rib cage, firing the obliques, and creating that strong pressure to stabilize the spine.